To locate scholarly peer-reviewed sources, you'll likely want to search in an academic database, like the ones provided through your college library. You can get into the database by starting on the library's homepage and clicking this link, A to Z List of Databases. This will take you to a list of all the databases you have access to as students of our college. For this demonstration, we are going to explore JSTOR, since it's a database well suited to research for literary criticism and analysis. Once you click on the database link, you may be prompted to log in using your Insight information. This is because, unlike the information you find on the open web, which is available to everybody, this information is only available to people with the credentials to access it. This is information the library pays for. It is not free. Because you are students, you have access to it, but you often need to log in to get that access. Once you've logged in, you'll see this homepage. Because we're using an academic database, we want to click the Advanced Search link. It's good to get in the habit of using advanced search in an academic database. This will give you the full functionality of the database. On the advanced search page, you can see there are multiple search boxes. Sometimes it can still be helpful to start your research with a single search term. If, for example, you wanted to explore literature through the lens of critical race theory, you could enter that theoretical term into the search box to see what results it generates. Remember to put quotes around your search term if it's more than one word, to ensure the database searches for that exact entire phrase and not just parts of it. Here I have over 1,000 search results, which is an overwhelming number that I want to whittle down before I start to go through them. All of your filters are here on the left side of the screen. The first filter you want to consider is access type. Right now, we are seeing only content we can access, which is what you want. Sometimes the database will show you all content, in which case you'd want to click this Content I Can Access link to apply that filter. It can be very frustrating to find the seemingly perfect research article, only to realize you don't have access to it. Other filters available to you include academic content, primary source content, publication date, and subject. Academic content here serves as a secondary source, and you can choose to see only academic journal articles in your search results by applying that filter. Publication date can be useful if you're searching for literary criticism from a specific time period. Subject allows you to filter your results by discipline. For literary analysis, the first subject filter to apply is language and literature. As you can see, by applying just these two filters, academic content and subject, my results have been reduced from over 1,000 to 285. 285 search results is a good number to start scrolling through and considering the articles available. One thing I noticed quickly is that within my journal article results, I'm also seeing records for book reviews, denoted by the word review preceding the title. This means that even if the title sounds promising, the article is likely not useful, as it's a book review on the subject and not an article on the subject itself, so I can disregard those results. As I scroll through my results, I can see that my search terms are highlighted in the article records. A few other things I notice as I survey my search results include that many results don't appear to be articles, but instead mentions of my search term in some other part of an article, like the contributors page. Many of the articles are about critical race theory, but not about literature. And the articles that are about literature are about very specific works or genres that are not necessarily the literature that I am writing about. I could continue to page through my search results, though I know that the database is displaying these results in order of relevance to my search term. If I wanted to see my results through a different angle, I could look at the newest or most recently published articles first. though in this case, that doesn't really improve the use of these particular articles to me. In this case, I'll likely want to start a new search, so I'll return to the search page by clicking the Advanced Search link. My sense is that maybe my first search term was too specific, so for my next search, I'll break down the topic I'm looking for into its key elements. To look at literature through the lens of race, I'll search race, racism, and modern literature, putting quotes around the phrase modern literature. Here, I start with 405 search results, which is not nearly as overwhelming as 1200, but I still might want to apply a couple filters to narrow those results further. Under academic content, I'll select journals. And under subject, I'll select language and literature. As with my first search, I noticed that some of these articles mention specific works of literature that might not be relevant to me. But some results appear to be talking about literature and race more broadly, and I might want to consider some of those articles. This journal article has a title that seems relevant to my research, but it doesn't explicitly mention literature in its title or description here. However, I can see that it was published in the journal American Literary History, so I know the context of the publication is literature. When I click on the title, I can see the full record for the article, including the publication information, as well as the article itself. I can also see the article is 26 pages. Academic journal articles tend to be quite long and are often full of dense language, so it helps to skim an article, searching for words or concepts that are relevant to your research. Or, as Zora Neale Hurston says of research, here you want to poke and pry with a purpose. As I page through the article, the first 2 pages don't seem that promising. But when I get to this paragraph, I notice 2 things. The first is that the article is now going to talk about the relationship between race and literature. And the second is that the article is pointing me toward additional sources relevant to this topic that I should also explore in my research. For these reasons, I'll continue skimming this article and then maybe decide I want to read it in full. To do that, I would want to download the article from the database so that I can access it from my device without having to go through the database to try to find it again. To cite this article, I could use this button here and choose the citation format I need. You still want to check this citation against a citation resource guide like OWL Purdue, but this is a good place to start and you can edit as necessary. This is how you search for, access, save, and cite a scholarly source in this academic database. Remember, in an academic database, start with the advanced search feature to enter your search terms and use the available filters to target your search results. You will likely need to conduct multiple searches in order to find articles appropriate to your topic. Start by skimming journal articles to see if they're relevant to you, and save articles you want to read in full by downloading them from the database.